man. And of course I hit my lows, where I'm figuring, like, I'm trying to think, like, what's going on, what am I doing, what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I should be further along than I am, and God had to politely tap me on the shoulder and be like, bro, I got you just where I need you to be. Watch what I do.
Wow.
And
So just kind of speak to that a little bit, because I think, like, it's always uh we always see the glory, of everything. We see the end result. We see, like, the plaques on the wall.
right.
You know what I mean? The awards
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. But what have been some of those struggles, some of those things that you get? Because I think that opens up it just opens things up a whole lot more when you can understand how people process problems, how they process through different areas of their life, and able to to still come out on top and win. So what has been some of those things that you said that you had to overcome over the years?
Absolutely, man. My biggest thing was, knowing that I was good enough for being overlooked. That was like a big thing for me, and it got next to me because, I'm really a big-hearted kind of guy. And everything I do, and I think we as creatives, we work out of our emotion. That's kind of how we are. We just it's the type of people we are, and we put our feelings into everything. And the one thing people always tell you in this business: don't take your feelings out of it. You you can't wear them on your sleeve.
Skin, all of that stuff.
Have thick skin, and rightfully so. But I think one of my biggest hurdles was just feeling like I was good enough, but I was being overlooked for the opportunities, and people will try to put you, in a place that they know you are what you have been to them, and try to keep you there, thinking that's all you are.
Wow.
And not really letting you spread your wings and really show everything that you can be. And had it not been for my wife and my family and my close friends, man, I really probably would have threw in the towel. And of course God, I cannot forget him, because it was through prayer and everything that kind of got me back on track. With it all. But just it's naturally speaking, my wife and my friends and stuff, like my man, I never forget my friend Lim, who lives in LA. I called him at my lowest, bro. And I was like, man, bro, I'm about to get this up, bro. I don't understand, like, how I know God has placed a special gift inside of me to do this, and man, I just keep getting overlooked, man. And he told me, he said, Sean, you can't give up, because we all inspired by what you're doing.
Dang.
We looking at you, and we're inspired by what you're doing. So, bro, you can't give up. He's like, bro, I'm telling you, you cannot give up, man. We looking at you, like, man, and right, and that clicked for me. And then my wife, just telling me that, hey, babe, stay in it. It's gonna shake in a minute. Just stay, keep doing what you're doing. And I never forget the day it turned around for me. It's I got a call. It's crazy how it actually happened, because it had nothing to do with a record that was gonna be placed at radio or nothing like that. But Uncle G called me, and
I'm excited to reveal something game-changing for us and for you as producers and musicians. I want to introduce to you Peculiar Sounds version 2. We've introduced standalone mode, allowing you to use it independently from any DAW. You can now blend up to 2 sounds to create rich and complex textures. We added in 2 brand new effects, the Lo-Fizer and the Mod Filter. The Lo-Fizer gives you instant lo-fi vibes with just a button, while the Mod Filter adds dynamic movement and flow to any sound you apply to. And we also added the innovative new MIDI browser that provides you with hundreds of chord progressions, melodies, and drum loop MIDI files that you can drag straight into your DAW. And as a bonus, V2 now includes Sounds Off the Block expansion for totally free, bringing the total to over 400 patches. So as you can see, Peculiar Sounds V2 is not just an update, it's a revolutionary new plugin. So make sure you check the website right now and you can get your hands on this game-changing plugin.
He was like, hey man, I got a friend of mine, we're doing a documentary on him, and he's a Mardi Gras Indian. For those that are from New Orleans, y'all know about that. They have different tribes that march during the parades. They get dressed all up in the suits, where they make the suits and they get dressed all up, and it's really a beautiful thing. And I said, we're doing a documentary on him, and man, we need a second line song.
Okay.
Now, mind you, I'm packing with my family to leave to go on a cruise.
Okay.
And I looked at my wife, and she was like, "You got time to do it? Try to knock it out." So I was like, "Okay, Uncle, I'll get it done." And man, I jumped in Logic and created a second line song and for the documentary, and he was like, "Man, do you know anybody that can kind of do some vocals on it and stuff?" So a friend of mine put me in touch with superstar from this area named Keyla Black.
Okay.
And so she kind of does the whole bounce, hip hop, rap kind of thing, but she does gospel bounce and all that stuff. So we linked up with her. She recorded it and sent it back to him, and he was just blown away about how fast I turned it around, how I was packing to go on vacation and I stopped to do it. And then he asked me, "Hey man, how much I owe you?" And I told him nothing.
Wow.
And he was totally blown away, not even knowing that that God was opening a door for me to do things on a much larger scale. So
wow.
And he tells me to this day, he said, "Nephew, that's what sold me on you. You were professional, you turned it around fast, you stopped what you were doing to do it, and then you didn't charge me anything for it." And I was like, wow, never. It was being, it was just being led by the Holy Spirit, honestly, because I couldn't have thought to do any of the things that I did. And so fast forward, maybe a year or two later, Sunday Best comes on, and there's this girl, Keyla Richardson.
Yeah.
She up there killing, and I watch the show I've watched the show from the beginning of the time. And she killing, and I'm like, man, she dope, and I'm thinking I'm like, man, she's actually, to me, she's better than all the rest of them that are there. And so I'm watching, and my phone rings, like the episode that she got sent home.
Okay, yeah.
And my phone rings, and it's Uncle G, and I'm like, okay. And matter of fact, he texted me right now. What's up, Unc? I'm in the interview. He called me. He's like, "Hey nephew, wanna tell you something." I'm like, "What is that?" "I signed Keyla."
Wow.
And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "Man, I wanna get some music on her, man." And man, I gotta tell you, you just really impressed me by your work ethic and what you did and how you turned it around, man. I want you to work with her.
Wow.
And man, he came down. Keyla came down from Pensacola. He came down from Houston. He's from New Orleans, but of course he lives in Houston now. Came down, and we got in the studio, and the rest is history, man. It's crazy, and just like that.
Billboard hit after Billboard hit.
Yeah, and it's and it made me think back. And I know it was God putting it in my spirit, like, remember you was getting ready to give up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I told you I had you this whole time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man, to think about like that. Like you said, not giving up right at the point. You were right at the point where you was about to let it go.
Yeah.
And here comes the light at the end of the tunnel that says, don't do it now.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're able you're literally right there. So it makes you think, like, and hopefully that's encouragement to anyone that might be feeling that same pressure. We've all been there. We all get there. I told you earlier, like, there's days I wake up and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Like,
right. Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I've done this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, this is going on, this is going on over here. How does all of this make sense?
Right, absolutely.
Like, where's what is the yellow brick road that I'm following?
Right.
Where's the Wizard of Oz?
Right, exactly. Right.
Which character am I? Am I the monkey? Am I the scarecrow?
Right.
Am I the Wicked Witch of the West?
Which one?
Who am I in this story?
Yeah.
And how does it make sense? So man, that's crazy to think. And I love to get those perspectives, from everyone that we talk to, because it's not all, this journey isn't all, especially as a creative, producer and you know, being able to do this thing full time,
absolutely,
etch out a full-time career in it is not easy in music, you know, and all of that stuff. And you've been able to over the last decade or so build a career in this,
absolutely,
have successes and you know, work on some really iconic music and records with some iconic people.
Yeah, man, it's been a blessing, bro. Like, you know, just person after person. And man, it's crazy, man. God has allowed me to really be a part of a lot of people's firsts.
Wow. Yeah.
And I don't take that lightly. Of course, I would love to work with the iconic people, you know, that I do. But man, it's like those first, like those people. This is my first record. This is my first single. Yeah. You know, I want to get into the game, and I want you to, man. And it's like I've watched God take those instances and turn them into something special.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, and man, I love it. Like a lot of people kind of shun away from, you know, doing the indies thing, but man, I actually love it because I actually use it as an opportunity to educate as well.
You know, to build with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Hangout podcast, which we do these weekly here on the channel. Make sure you check out the long form version right over here. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll talk to you guys on the next one. I'm out. Holla at your boy.